It's back to school time, y'all. So I often get a lot of questions requesting advice for people entering college or thinking about going to college, or just people that are going back to school in general. And it's about that time of year once again, so those questions are starting to roll in once more. I actually made a video about this a couple years ago, and you can watch that if you want to. There should be a link on the screen and in the description. But since I released that video, I got a lot of comments offering different viewpoints than the ones I expressed in the video, and some views that even challenge my ideas. Many of you may know Dan Brown, another YouTuber who makes video blogs in a manner similar to my own. You may remember fairly recently we got involved in a conversation he was having with his audience about girls. And what Dan often does on his channel is start conversations with his viewers, and then he features and responds to comments and video responses he receives on the topic. So Dan and I have decided to start a collaborative conversation with my audience and his audience and me and him and anyone who wants to participate on the topic of school. And we want your feedback. We want you to send us video responses. Like, how do you feel about going to school, whether high school or college, whatever you're doing? Do you feel like you're getting anything out of it? Do you only do it to appease your folks? How do you do well in school? How do you deal with the social aspects of school? How do you describe and handle the transition from high school to college? Is going to college even worth it? And if you happen to be already done with school, what advice and knowledge can you share with everyone else? Now, me personally, I was a good high school student, and by good I mean that for whatever reason I was at a level higher than most of my coursework. So I mostly just had to show up enough times in order to pass my classes and make good grades. Except AP Calculus, that class was kind of hard. Now, this wasn't really the case for me in college, however. The lack of accountability and the lack of teachers constantly looking over your shoulders kind of resulted in me giving even less of a shit and making kind of bad grades and not going to class as often as I should. Now, don't get me wrong, there were specific classes that I really enjoyed and found valuable. Even random ones that I wouldn't really expect to enjoy. Like, I really liked my geology class I took sophomore year. But I spent a couple of years as a philosophy major before switching to English. And I would say that both the philosophy classes and the English classes that I took were some of the most enjoyable and even transformative classes for me. I think my YouTube channel even exhibits a lot of the ideas and skills that I learned in those classes. For the most part though, college seemed to me to be more about memorizing facts and passing exams than like learning stuff. And I found that potentially receiving a degree was not in and of itself enough to motivate me. And add that to the fact that I was like super broke and I needed to start working and stop amassing debt. I eventually decided to drop out of college, but that's just my story. I want to hear your thoughts. And Dan Brown's gonna get his audience involved in the same conversation. So be sure to click the annotation on your screen or the link in the description to go watch his video as well. And make sure you subscribe to him as well, because you don't want to miss the follow-up video in this conversation. And also, I promise if you like my videos, you will definitely like his as well. And this is not just a one-sided thing. We want to hear your thoughts. That means comments, emails, and especially video responses. Dan is going to feature some of the responses that we get on his channel, so you can email video responses directly to him at danbrownuniverse@gmail.com, or you can email it to me and I'll forward it over to him, hello@theonejanitor.com. And then after you hear Dan's thoughts, you can send in more video responses, and then maybe I'll come in, and then maybe Dan will come in, and then, you know, we'll just wing it. It's a collaborative conversation. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. Make sure you click that thumbs up button so more people can see this video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already.